All right, so good morning and welcome to Breaking Dawn this morning. It is Monday morning, and what a morning it is. Last night was chilly, boy. Cold night, boy. Island, at least in the west there. Well, the entire weekend, needless to say, the rainy season is here and it's on time. All right, so we're going to see how the rainy season shapes up, and we'll see if the government of the day has done what I would expect them, or every citizen in a flood-prone area would expect them to do when those rains do come, is that they've prepared. Yes? All right. So let's hope that Khadija Amin and the local government ministry and all of those necessary, all of those corporations and so on and so forth are prepared for it, because it's here. All right? So, was a pretty quiet weekend for me. But I did have this one highlight of my weekend that I must mention. I went out to dinner at a place called Patches, right, down in Chagaramas, on Saturday night, right? I have to compliment the chef, boy. I complimented him, Chef Miguel, boy. Eyeline, It didn't have anything I taste down there that I could say, well, it was lacking in anything. So I just want to big up Chef Miguel at Patches. And, well, I did compliment him while I was there. And when he came over, he said, I know your face from somewhere. And I said, well, that'll be Synergy TV. He said, right, Synergy TV. So apparently he watches the program. So Chef Miguel, good morning to you, man. Everything was fantastic. From the pork to the fish cakes to the, oh God, what did Charlene have? She had the snapper. They had a special with a whole snapper. And she just complained, and she ain't complaining about that at all. The baby potatoes, oh God, but she had the mac and cheese, but that mac and cheese was off the chain. The dashing pie was off the chain too. I had salmon. I decided not to have steak. I regret it now because I'd like to taste the steak from Chef Miguel. And something else I had, boy. Oh, I had a nice little salad on the side. Yeah. If I get a salad like that every day, I will eat bush every day. Nah, but everything was on point. And I did have the Zyrtec. I had the brownie and ice cream. I went out, yeah. And that was fantastic as well. You know what I mean? I'm telling you. Everything down there tastes great. I ain't lying. So, yeah, if you're looking for a nice little place to go out and eat, Patches, boy. Right? Down in Chagaramas, yeah, the chef, he on point. I just had to mention that this morning, boy. I'm telling you, the food was great. Great. You understand? Yeah. And it's where, you know where it is? Where Zanzibar used to be. Yeah, it's where Zanzibar used to be. So it's a good way down. After cruising, you had to go past cruising and thing, but it worth the drive. I just decided to go out there Saturday and, you understand? I was supposed to go up and show in thing, in the charity thing, and then that rain come and I said, boy, nah, boy. Let me go on Italy, let me go, boy. I changed my plans. All right. So let's get into what's in the news today, or at least what you will see in the news today. And outside of the headlines of the day, the Prime Minister spoke on Friday in Parliament, and she gave a lot of information in the 23 minutes that she spoke for as it relates to the gains made over the last year. She spoke of, So 8,000 jobs have been given out over the last year, with more to come in this second year. However, I don't know where the 8,000 jobs came from in terms of if it was most vulnerable, lower class, middle class, low to middle, wherever, right? I don't know the economic status of persons that would have gotten jobs. But I know this for sure. The upkeep program, because I spoke to a couple people who are now in the upkeep program, that used to be working for $79 a day. They're now working for, I think it's $200 and some dollars a day, or $2,000, a little over $2,000 a fortnight. Now, the only problem with them is they say they don't get paid on time. People complain about not getting paid on time. However, the Prime Minister did mention something on Friday. She mentioned that the media review, and I think this is the clip here, the media review, I'll play this after the break, but the media review will take place on June the 15th, that is next week. I think that is Monday. Today's the 8th. Yeah, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Next week, Monday, the Minister of Finance will come to the Parliament. He will ask for 2.93 billion more. But that 2.93 billion, what she said is 2.83 out of that is for recurrent expenditure. And that money is the monies that was not allocated in the budget last year, where the salary negotiations were, as it relates to the salary negotiations for how many other unions they've done negotiations with. So that money is what they come in for in the media review in order to pay those bills, right? And well, yeah, the vast majority of it. Okay, she did speak on that. Higher salaries, energy sector. She spoke about the international confidence in Trinidad and Tobago, and she mentioned something that I did not even know. I mean, I may have missed it, but the World Bank, which put out a positive outlook for Trinidad and Tobago coming on to the end of this year into 2027, the World Bank, and people have to understand the significance of these things from an international standpoint. The World Bank apparently wants to set up a branch in Trinidad and Tobago. That is huge in terms of international confidence, right? They don't make those kind of moves just so, right? And I think that is, if I'm not mistaken, that is what she said. But I have the clip, we'll run it at some point in time during this morning. Yeah, so those are some of the things that she spoke of. And coming on to the end of her contribution, she said, she promised that better days are coming, and she said better days are here. Now, I have had a feeling and some little information too, of course, that they've been buying time because of the financial situation that they inherited. And apparently, and I think I kept saying this, it's going to turn the corner by middle of 2026, coming down to the end of 2026. So it appears that a lot of things are about to be launched by the end of July. So they're going to get to the media review Monday. They're going to get that 2.93 billion. That is going to deal with what it has to deal with. And then there is something else in the works as well that will kickstart the economy, from what I understand, if my information is accurate. So it looking good. We'll see if it works out, how they say they're planning it to work out, but we'll see. But I will play some of what she said on Friday so that you could listen and hear it for yourself, all right? Because I keep telling all, it's about a lot of noise. But if you're really looking, if you're really reading and you're following the news and the trends, everything trending Guyana and Trinidad and Tobago, especially where energy sector investments are concerned. And there's another big energy company that will be investing in Trinidad and Tobago as well. She spoke on that when she spoke about energy. All right, but let's get to the horrible news that we have to wake up to this morning. And oh, by the way, the government will also make a move to extend the state of emergency, whether or not it will be agreed to. I mean, it should pass, because I think this is the extension where they don't really need any great majority, if I'm not mistaken, although I could be confused because the amount of state of emergency that we've been so far, I could be confused as to which period we're in right now. But I think that second one, this was the first 3 months coming to an end, and they could go and ask for 6 more. They will have to justify it, of course. And I don't think it's whether or not it's justified to the independent senators or the opposition. I think it's whether it's justified amongst the population. in terms of supporting the state of emergency. I think the population has more say in this than those sitting in the house, because it is the average man on the street that is subject to the crime. You understand? It is the average man on the street that feels the pain. You dig? But let's get to the headlines. Outrage. And this was a sad story. And I could tie this in to everything I've said over the last few weeks. I remember the candlelight movement, right? And I remember that petition that we had 128,000 plus physical signatures for. And I remember it was triggered by the Andrea Barrett situation, that tragedy. Good? And now, a few years later, because everything that we recommended, nothing has been done. And I'm asking the Prime Minister to take a look. It's that request and those signatures supposed to be at the Attorney General's office. Right? More so, Philip Alexander is part of the government now. And he was the head of the candlelight movement. Right? And there are things in that document that we put forward that should have been dealt with, that was not dealt with. And here we are again, where a missing schoolgirl has now been found dead in Erin, and a 26-year-old suspect is in custody. The father of the deceased is saying, some sick bastard killed my daughter. And he's right. You have to be a sick individual. So apparently, today should have been a day of excitement for 12-year-old Mercedes Lane and her schoolmates on a trip to the Mount St. Benedict Monastery in St. Augustine. Instead, her classmates and teachers will join her family in mourning her death after the missing Erin schoolgirl was found dead near an oil well yesterday morning in another tragic case of violence against a child that has outraged the country. Now, a frantic search for the Standard 4 St. Francis Erin RC Primary School student ended in horror yesterday when a partially nude body was discovered off Carapal Road in Erin. Now, there is a suspect in custody. Kudos to the police on apprehending this individual quickly. Right? I do not know if he might fall off a chair, but we will wait and see. The discovery confirmed the worst fears of her father, Ronald Cabrera, who said he sensed something was terribly wrong from the moment he learned she had disappeared on Saturday afternoon. Not what happened. Apparently, her grandfather put her into a car, and she never got there. Right? Cabrera, who was not there at the time, was told that Mercedes had spent some time with her elder sister, and her sister's grandfather had placed her in a purple wagon to travel the 5-minute journey home to Los Heroes Road. And hours later, there was still no sign of her. This is a child that went to a 5 minute, just 5 minutes, 5 minutes from home, driving. And all they're telling me when they hold people like that. Boy, look now. You see me? One of the things that we put forward was the regularization of those PH cards, right? That was one of the things that we put forward. Pepper spray was another thing, but of course she's 12 years old, so, And there were some other things in there. I got to call Philip to find out, because I'm trying to jog my memory. But there were some other things in there. And this is This has to stop. Just the other day we had a situation with a 2-year-old boy in Tobago. This thing has to stop. We sick people out here, and I always say that, You never know who you're sitting down next to in a maxi, or a taxi, You never know your co-worker, You don't know people, until you know them, Well, we going to be outraged again? Well, I wait and see the outrage on the pavement. I don't know. But we outraged again. And then what? And then what? You understand? The NCIC set to tackle racial divide in Trinidad and Tobago as suggestions to rename airport after Basdo Pandey sparked negative social media comments. Look, I don't even know if Pandey would have won the airport in his name. You understand what I'm saying? Leave the thing, the Piarco International Airport. Why is this even... Look, let me move on, Look at here, U.S. firm Occidental Petroleum coming to Trinidad and Tobago. That is the company, one of the big energy giants that was mentioned in the Prime Minister's contribution on Friday. And there was a couple other it's interesting, I am seeing a headline here, right? Economists flag borrowing risk as state's wage bill rises, right? So the picture here is Robert LaHunt, who's the former public utilities minister, right? And it's interesting that they bring up the borrowing risk now, right? Because over the last, between 2015 and 2025, that's all they did, was borrow, The Prime Minister mentioned that on Friday. When she spoke, she said, when they left office in 2015, the national debt, the country's debt, was X amount of money. And by the time the end of 2025, it had soared leaps and bounds to over $100 and something billion or something to that effect. I have the clip there. We'll get to all of that, right, if we have time. But we gotta go to the first break. And when we come back from the break, first off, we'll get your thoughts on this child, this situation with this child, and I don't know at this point. I don't know at this point. I don't know when it stops. I really don't. But before we go to the break, I really don't know. Fellas and them just, I don't know in this place, boy. Right, the Trinidad and Tobago College of Therapeutic Massage and Beauty Culture Limited. Let's get to that. All right, so if you've ever considered a lucrative career in massage therapy or cosmetology, then call the Trinidad and Tobago College of Therapeutic Massage and Beauty Culture Limited. They are now enrolling for September 2026, and you could learn from the experts of 40 years in the field, train for a job in the fastest growing industry in the world, and they are registered with the Ministry of Education, registered with the Accreditation Council of Trinidad and Tobago for a gate-funded massage diploma, and they're also registered with the National Training Agency to teach a cosmetology level 2 CVQ. And you can call now on 658-3907. That is 658-3907. Or you can WhatsApp them on 496-1111. You could also visit their website, ttcollegeofmassage.com. All right, so make sure and check them out and get signed up for September. And SET, while you're aboard, SET has the Holistic Health Clinic. And, of course, it is powered by nutritional therapy. And you can manage a disease instead you have to stop managing a disease because you have the opportunity to reverse it. All right? So reverse those diseases naturally. It's drug-free, supplement-free, root cause healing through nutritional therapy. and book an appointment today and rebuild your health from the inside out naturally by calling or WhatsApping Seth on 279-3935 or 761-1952. And if you want to check out his book, if you want to pick up the book, You Are Not Sick, You Are Malnourished, you could also call those numbers, or you could go to RIK stores nationwide, Amazon, or Nelson's in Tobago. And with that, we take our first break. When we come back from the break, we will get into that discussion as it relates to the first topic, the headline in the paper this morning, this tragedy surrounding the 12-year-old. Just unfortunate. We'll be back after this.
At Adams Optical, we care for your vision with everything from stylish frames, contact lenses, and sunglasses, starting at just $595, to advanced eye care services. We also diagnose and manage conditions like glaucoma and cataracts with our in-house ophthalmologist. Additional services include OCT, VFT, and cataract surgeries. Visit us at San Fernando, Chaguanas, or Rio Claro.
Welcome to Car City Trading, your #1 supplier of brand new Korean auto parts. Come on down to lot number 78, Bamboo Settlement number 2, Valsayn, between the hours of 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. Monday to Friday and 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturday to get your Hyundai and Kia vehicular needs. Car City Trading has everything your vehicle needs, from a brand new head and blocks to engine parts, transmissions, suspension parts, body parts, electrical parts, braking system, AC system, even the smallest sensor, and much more. WhatsApp us today at 704-2246 or call us at 645-2603 and let us be your car parts solution. Be sure to find us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and look out for our monthly deals and promotions. Car City Trading, quality products at unbeatable prices.
Feeling distance in your relationship or sensing someone interfering between you and your partner? Connect with Pandit Anirudh, known for powerful and result-oriented love solutions. His effective love spells have helped many reunite with lost partners. If you face family conflict, marriage issues, negativity, or financial stress, his strong mantras bring quick relief. Know what lies ahead in your love life and future through powerful astrology readings. Many lives have changed. Now it's your turn. Contact +1 868 278 0399.
Cars, sports, careers, food. We men always talk about these things, but not about our health. Did you know that testosterone is responsible for muscle mass, strength, deep voice, healthy hair growth, and the sex drive? With low testosterone, we may not achieve our potential. The good news is that Jameson Power for Men is an excellent testosterone support. Take Jameson Power for Men and perform to your max. Jameson, here for your health.
Every day at the castle, long before we open our doors, our work begins. Our famous seasonings are mixed in advance. We select our fresh chicken parts and prep our delicious sides. Then we fire up the fryers and rotisserie oven. Everything is made with tasty local herbs, spices, and the same long-loved recipe since 1968. So, when you come in, remember that we uphold our culture and our taste just for you. We are your Royal Castle.
You will not deny that this is the maddest place on earth. And we go shout from the top of the mountains. This is the greatest place, our great escape. My favorite space, the maddest place on earth. Would you believe me when I tell you? Better you come and take a sample. A little bit is still a lot to handle, but you can find no other example. You need to fly up to the maddest place on earth. Can't tell no lie.
Air conditioning problems? Then look no further. A&K Air Conditioning Supplies offers you an easy solution for all your automotive, commercial, and domestic air conditioning needs. With 2 convenient locations to serve you, A&K Air Conditioning Supplies offers you an extensive range of parts and services, including pressure test kits, refrigerators parts, front and rear evaporators for maxi taxis. They also cater for both foreign and local automobile models like Kia, Hyundai, Honda, Nissan, and more. So pay them a visit today at either of their 2 locations. Number 36 Alfonso Street, Sangre Grande. Phone 784-2707 or 386-5700. And number 133 Corner Rollins Street and Bonaventure Main Road, Gasparillo. Phone 312-2245 or 782-9720.
Astrologer Mohit Ji is known for providing insightful astrology guidance for complex life situations, dealing with love confusion, delayed marriage, partner distancing, or serious relationship breakdowns. His approach focuses on understanding the root cause and guiding you toward the right path. If financial instability or business setbacks are affecting you, his spiritual remedies may support positive change. With psychic reading, horoscope analysis, and palm insights, he offers practical clarity. His services also include protection from negative energies and removal of bad luck. Call at +1 868 334 2796.
I want to thank all those who have worked tirelessly throughout this first, often challenging year of our administration. I want to thank the people of Trinidad and Tobago for their patience, for their understanding, for their honest feedback, and continued faith in the future of our nation. Next week, we will return to this House to present the mid-year review and supplementary appropriation. So this House will return, Mr. Speaker, subject to the standing orders. We will return next Wednesday when the Finance Bill 2026 will be debated. That bill is to give effect to measures that were announced in the 2025-26 budget. Thereafter, we will come for the Standing Finance Committee, which will be convened on Friday. So Wednesday first for the Finance Bill, and that will be convened at about 10:30 a.m. And then on Friday for the Standing Finance Committee at 1:30 p.m. and thereafter in the following week for debate on the supplementary appropriation bill, variation and supplementation. Mr. Speaker, I just want to make a final note here, and that is that supplementary bill that will be coming is to ask for more money, $2.93 billion in supplementation to meet the bills of Trinidad and Tobago in this fiscal year 25-26. Out of that $2.93 billion that we are asking for, $2.83 billion is recurrent, and it will apply to the new wages and salaries that we have been paying. I already told you over 60,000 persons are getting increased salaries, and so we have to find the money. For these increased salaries. Mr. Speaker, I had said a bit earlier, at the end of our first year in office in April, recently, April 2026, that better days are coming. I know, so Mr. Speaker, better days are here and will continue to get brighter. I thank you very much. And we note that Monday, the 15th of June, 10:30 a.m., we will do the mid-year review. I thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
All right, so that's the Prime Minister there. Better days are here. Let's hope so. I want to remind the Prime Minister, a man came to the Parliament in 2018 saying, Mr. Speaker, the economy is booming. This sector booming and that sector booming and the other sector booming and, I don't know. I don't think the country saw the boom. But nevertheless, careful. Trinidadian and Trinbagonian people expect a lot. And when you say better times are here, that is what people expect. All right? Because we've had a lot of noise for the last year, a lot of noise. All right? The population has complained about a wide variety of things. I might be in a little more the no. So, I understand that, it wasn't an easy situation financially, and sometimes you had to play for time. But when you make the statement, better days are here, one could only hope. All right? And we will observe. For now, I just want to get your calls and your comments on this 12-year-old child. If you could go back to that headline, the outrage headline. Right? So outrage over 12-year-old murder. Missing schoolgirl Mercedes Lane found dead in Erin. 26-year-old suspect in custody. And the father of the deceased child says, some sick bastard killed my daughter. 327-7400. I want to take a few calls on this. Or if you want to call on anything per se that is taking place, no problem, but just be quick and sharp with it, all right? Because I am with the whole sermon this morning, very quickly. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Stefan.
Yeah, morning. My little volume there, fellas.
So I just wanted to say that the upkeep program, I heard that they're getting more money than they're getting that around that figure you called. But I want to sensitize people who might not know what it is to get paid out of timing. And when I say out of timing, not sure if you're getting paid. Because if my business is a rocky road, I rather pay my workers than pay myself. Because they are the persons who, they want employment because they're not in a position like myself or many others. And I found that since this government came into power, I find a constant thing I keep hearing is not only them, this person didn't get paid on time, this check didn't come on time, and it's the lower end of the economic sphere in this country. And it's very tough to hear that voice when you see people now come off a win. So if you're supporting a government and they now come off a win, everything is perceived now as a like PNM thing, like the opposition people. And I'm not in that position. But I see those faces on a regular basis, and maybe some people out of touch with that, and that's rather unfortunate sometimes that people say, yes, better days are here. But for who? I agree, because I live in a place where every time the UNC come in power, the places look better. But how the people just feel, that is something, how the people feeling right now, doesn't reflect what the Prime Minister would have gone into Parliament and say, which is not the first time we witnessed that.
Did you hear all of what she said?
Time, but of course not. I don't have time to sit down and listen to every single thing, but I'm talking about the mood and
problem with people.
The mood of people. Of course, we have a problem with people here. I don't know who listens every single thing. But I'm not here to talk what the Prime Minister says.
No, all I'm saying, okay, hold on. All I'm saying is she spoke for 23 minutes. That's all. She didn't talk for an hour. She talked for 23 minutes. And in the 23 minutes that she spoke, in the 23 minutes that she spoke on everything from legislative gains to crime to jobs. She spoke to international confidence and new partners. She spoke to higher salaries in the energy sector. And she spoke to what you're talking about there. The upkeep program would fall under or in that category of workers that they are now going back to the Parliament on next week, Monday, to get $2.93 billion so that they have the access to the fund because they didn't budget for that in October. If you understand what I'm saying. So that is the money now that they're going back for to ensure that these people get paid on time and the higher salaries and so on and so forth. But I'm just saying, there's context to everything, but go ahead.
I'm sure the Prime Minister have a platform for everybody to hear what they wanted to say. I just wanted to call on your program to hear what some of the things that people don't have a voice as big as the Prime Minister to go in Parliament because they don't have that kind of money sometimes to even reach him for the speed. But I understand again why it is difficult when people supporting a government to hear the voice on the ground And they say, listen, did you hear everything the Prime Minister said? I understand that. Have a good morning.
All right, no problem. I'm not asking you if you hear everything she said, you know. In the context of what you're saying, right? In terms of the Prime Minister saying better days are here, that was at the end. That was the last thing she said before she closed. So you're hearing the last thing without hearing, and that's why I asked you if you heard the whole thing. You understand? I could tie that into something else too, but I won't do that. Morning.
Mr. Farm President, good morning. That man was real short, man. Yeah. Let me tell you something, now, man. When you hear you lost a child to crime in 2008,
Yeah.
as a parent, every time you get up and you hear in the news with these set of murders that taking place, Stefan, that will be easy, you know. I could tell you what some of them are going through, you know. Enough is enough, you know. I don't know when it will end. I'm one of the parents out there who fed up at this crime situation. I'm fed up when it will end. People just lost in the little children, so and what. I hear our next SUE. This SUE coming up again. I don't know what the fuck is going to make.
Well, it's an extension.
I understand that.
But while you hold on. While you're on the topic, right? While you mentioned it, because in the second hour I was going to ask about that, right? My thing is, okay, how do we measure the success of the SOE? What would you say is the measuring stick?
Thank you. I'm not in a position to measure it, so I can't see.
Well, it must have something that we measure it by.
Right? All I know, well, the government and the public know what they're doing, you know. But I can't measure that because every morning I get up, I get up sick. Because you see all them start killing all over the 5 killing a day, 5 killing in 24 hours. Oh, God, but no, boy, we can't take it again, you know.
Okay.
We can't take it. You have a plus and demand.
No problem. The reason why I ask how do you measure it or what is the measuring stick is because, okay, how do we measure it? We're measuring it by feelings. We're measuring it by headlines. We're measuring it by statistics. We're measuring it. How are we measuring it? We had to come up with a formula that we could say, okay, this is the measuring stick. And based on this measuring stick, it is, we could extend it 6 months or we could not. But you have to measure it again. There must be a way to measure the success or the failure. Morning.
Morning, Stefan. Stefan.
Yeah, what's going on?
The other day, the Prime Minister mentioned about criminals just have their youngster boyfriend and thing looking over them. Everybody in the country and the grandmother and the great-grandmother who did hear that and had something to say about it. You know, when she mentioned things about the economy, all in a sudden, wax clog up the ears, they just can't hear it. So we had to understand what we're dealing with in this country. You know? And here we go again this morning. Sympathy, condolences, and every single thing. And blame everything else beside who we are in this Trinidad and Tobago. As such are demons living among us. I am sure, and I could put my head on a block, people who supporting protests and stands against crime, living in the same house with that human being, will commit this crime and rape that child and kill her. And the thing about it, when somebody reached to this level of committing a crime like that, they already did that at least twice already. They probably didn't murder or physically abuse and things, but they commit rape already.
Oh,
and that same person who, and this is the point where DNA, we're supposed to have a DNA-based database long time in Trinidad and Tobago. Because I am sure if they had a DNA database in this country, when they take DNA from the child and thing, they would have cross-reference it, and you would have match at least 2 or 3 of the thing. Because remember, plenty of people who come and report rape and thing, and especially in those rural communities where people run PH and thing all in the evening, and you see children and thing traversing like that, they just prey on that. And he right now, the home that he living in, the parents, the girlfriend or something, know the type of person they're dealing with. And they will sit and eat lunch and breakfast and hug it and say darling and all kind of thing. And that's who we are in this country. People had to admit that and start to realize that blaming the government and blaming SOE and looking for all kind of excuses would never solve this problem.
But
They had to
Barapon,
look
what is
into
he?
this.
Okay, what is the measuring stick of the SOE? How do we measure it? How do we say,
Well,
okay,
let me
it's
show you
working
something.
or it's not working?
Well, okay. All we have to go by is statistics. If you count
All right, you would
the
say
last-
the statistical end. Okay.
Yeah, because that's where it is now. Okay, let's say we had 500 murders as of today without a SOE. And everybody would be calling for a SOE and state of emergency and curfew and everything in the country. Now we have one.
I would
we
say
have
so.
a drastic decline. We have a drastic decline in the amount of murders and all kind of thing. And when now they want to go a little further to implement curfew and thing, everybody, we rights getting taken away. We like, you know how much out of curfew would have prevent home invasion and probably the same issue where it probably would have a roadblock or something. And this child, the person who decided that, oh, okay, I would take a chance, would not decide to take a chance because they might feel they might get caught in some roadblock further down the road. So
Okay.
people have to be real and honest with themselves. You know. If you want to measure it. Today is June, and this time of the year we have X amount of murders. Without the SOE for the last previous years, and how much murders we already had for this period. So what else you could say responsible for that? Or else, like Alexander say, put a police in everybody, the junction of everybody homes, and let me see if they will stop the crime.
Okay.
Take care, man.
All right,
Have
man.
a good morning, Yolita.
Yeah. Well, all right. He's saying statistics. I guess a lot of people would go along the lines of statistics. Hello, good morning. I think it's a combination of things.
Morning.
Yeah, morning.
Morning. The opposition will oppose regardless of whether it's good or it's bad. And there's nothing wrong with that. Because it allows you to tweak things and to do things as you expect. Everybody wants to tell the Prime Minister how she should function and how she shouldn't function, as if she don't know, she have no experience. She have no plans and she have no ideas. And when they finish and she implements whatever she wants, then they begin to see the results of that. In crime fighting, no matter what you do, there's that thing they call criminal minds. It will never be eradicated. We had a state of emergency for COVID. Is COVID gone? Has it been eradicated? So things will happen all the time. It's like drivers. You can put road laws, they will still have accidents. People will still, as they say, test the boundaries. And things will happen over and over. But in the system, there are certain things that a state of emergency will not be able to deal with. And some of them might be domestic violence and all this kind of thing, and child abuse and all sorts of things. But police can't be here. I'm the one who's not police all the time. I'm saying that they still need to do plenty more. I've heard that in consultation with the universities and all kind of people and the money that deal with crime. Also with the economy. When you know the economy has failed and you start to turn the corner, everybody wants everything fixed, bam, right away. But like the gentleman said this morning, people are getting salary on the lower end, but they're getting salary. It's not them getting, they might probably get it late, but they're still getting salary. So everybody's able to survive. We had a situation in Trinidad. People talk about CPEP, and PNM pushing CPEP. In Tobago, they don't want that because CPEP is a low-end part of everything to remain the working poor. So people begin to come to light to understand things, and it's a gradual process. Across my 2 area. I can talk again next week. Have a good day, man.
All right, no problem. I'll see if I can squeeze one more before I get into this other clip here from Friday. Hello, good morning. Morning.
Yeah, because that first call boy, like he just walk around with that dark cloud over here the whole day, boy. Oh, that man like he just love to call you with cheapness.
We talking about?
But I will tell you something. The first caller, who like to call, I just call him dark cloud. But I will tell you something. Within the last few years, the government have a lot of programs and courses that young people could do, that they could take part in to develop themselves so they wouldn't be dependent on government handouts.
How you know that?
I know that. There are a lot of young people that I know that through their education away and some of them who can see
No, I understand that. You know people that got into the programs and they went and they, right, no problem.
Right.
Because, hold on, because according to the CSO, in the last year, they have created 8,000 jobs. Right? She mentioned another 14,200 jobs as well. I had to go back and listen to the clip to hear the context, but of those jobs or where those jobs were located, right? But the reason why you know it is because you know people who are in it, right?
Exactly, yes.
Right. So the fact that you know it through that way of knowing it, and not through government communication arms putting it out to the public that these exist, I come back to my point where their communication is horrible.
Well, that's the next thing too. That is the next thing too, because once you have things, but I'm talking about before this government came into power, during the last 10 years, because during, I can tell you something, the last government used to be always advertising, you always seeing things on papers, you always seeing on social media. But then again, it was saying you could lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, because I mean, the amount of courses I see that. Look up on my side, we have a community center that always closed down, and they had courses, but because of the young people in the area, they passing around with mics and what have you, and visiting the young people and talking to them, but they rather sit down on the side of the road and do nothing.
Right.
And they end up stopping these courses in my district. Because they thought a nice tile course, I say, well, I'm going to do some tiling. They come and say, because they don't have enough people that to move it to Malabar.
Okay. All right.
So that's telling you, so I talking from my experience with what is going on, and from how I see the young people, and them just sit down whole day by the junction doing nothing. And things come in and meet them and they don't want it. But you can't force them if they don't want it.
Well, I guess so. You could carry the horse to the water, but you can't make it drink. But I think,
well, that's what I'm telling you. So, but then they want to complain that the government are doing nothing for them, and that's sad, because if they are developing themselves and making themselves marketable and going outside there and doing things for themselves, they rather sit down and depend on the government. You know, a lot of young people that only take part in government courses because they give a stipend.
X and I know you just listen to X and I on the radio, right? How many times have we mentioned that when we look around, all the Venezuelan are work?
Right?
All the Venezuelans working. So what happened to the locals?
Why Venezuelans self-employed? Venezuelans selling doubles now, you know?
No, but they're working.
They're working, yeah.
They're earning an income, right? They're getting work. Whether they're getting work in the grocery, or they're getting work on the construction site, or they're getting work wherever, or they're self-employed, or they decide to, they're working, correct?
Yeah, but I could count out what you know, see there. Because they're not paying, because they're not paid NIS and thing. It have some places that refuse to hire locals.
Well, all right, that might be a good point, yeah. The NIS issue. Yeah.
I know a place where they get rid of, I know a factory that get rid of the majority of local workers and only hire Venezuelans.
Yeah. All right, the NIS point is an excellent point. Maybe that's why. All right, no problem. All right, cool. Before we get back to the phone lines, or before we take the break, like I said, I know a lot of people may not have heard it, but it is there for you to hear. Everything is there, right? It's 23 minutes she spoke for, right? But I will break it up into pieces and share the information during the course of the week. The part that I want to play here is the international confidence and partners, right? I think this is the part that she mentioned, the World Bank. Chris, the one labeled international confidence. Yeah, let me get that one now. Yeah.
I turn now, Mr. Speaker, to our efforts in restoring confidence at home and abroad. In the previous decade, under the former administration, the PNM, debt doubled from $75.4 billion in 2015 when we left office to $144.7 billion in 2025. That is what we inherited. So we got a doubling of debt in our nation from $75.4 billion, 2015 when we demitted office, to what we inherited, $144.7 billion in 2025. Mr. Speaker, output contracted by 20%. Foreign reserves were cut in half. Billions withdrawn from national savings. Mr. Speaker, all of this, and with nothing to show for it. Not one thing to show for it. In just 1 year in office, we have begun to turn the tide and restore TNT's standing within the international community. As we learned yesterday, and I'll speak more of that at a later point, Trinidad and Tobago has been elected to the United Nations Security Council for a 2-year term. Mr. Speaker, the World Bank's decision to establish a permanent World Bank Group office in TNT represents one of the most significant votes of confidence in our economy in recent decades. This will bring immense benefit to our nation. Further, Mr. Speaker, despite all the cries and the pleas from the other side when you're in government, it was my government, our government, the UNC, that saw the removal of Trinidad and Tobago from the European Union tax blacklist. This has sent a strong signal to the international community that our nation remains a credible, responsible, and competitive destination for investment and
for investment and business. TNT is open for business. We successfully raised a US $1 billion bond that was oversubscribed 2.5 times by 140 global investors.
At the end of this month, the Minister of Foreign Affairs will attend a Mercosur meeting to advance our request for associate membership. This will also further our trade integration with South and Central America, following our security integration with the Shield of the Americas. Mr. Speaker, I am very proud and yet humbled to say that within 1 year, your UNC government restored international confidence in Trinidad and Tobago.
All right. So there you have, that's the clip where she mentioned the World Bank setting up an office here in Trinidad and Tobago. That do happen just so. World Bank don't just come here and set up a shop. Like the World Bank. And just a few months ago, the World Bank put out a report saying that Trinidad and Tobago is ready to turn the corner, and they gave a positive report on TNT. Inclusive of that, we have the energy sector giants coming here, and you know what I mean, the message from the United States and other partners is that, hey, you don't have to go to Trinidad, you don't have to go to Venezuela and set up a business, you know. Go to Trinidad, set up a business in Trinidad, and do your business from Trinidad to Venezuela. So there are certain things in the making, right? The removal, I and all did not even remember that we got removed from the European blacklist. Remember, the European Union blacklisted us under IMBERT. Remember that? They come in 1 year and they reversed that and got us off the blacklist. Now, they're going to have to borrow, eh? Make no mistake about it. They're going to have to borrow. She knows that. They know that. The opposition knows that they have to borrow. Right? But it's one thing to borrow and you can't service the debt. It's another thing to borrow when you could service the debt. Right? So, I guess the first part of those economic strategies would have been getting us off of the European blacklist, partnering in the United States to encourage international confidence in the investment in Trinidad and Tobago. Gotta get the wheel turning somehow, right? So I guess the foundation is laid to a certain extent. How fast the wheel will start to turn is another thing. But at the end, in the first clip there, at the end, she said, better days are here. All right, so I waited to see better days really here. But all of what she mentioned there with the international confidence, I don't think anybody could deny that. the seat on the UN Security Council will give us access, I believe, to certain things, maybe little loans and this, that, and the other to deal with national security and crime and so on and so forth. So we'll be able to access things like that with a seat on the council. And that's the first time that Trinidad and Tobago is on the council since 1985. So, you know, that along with other things that was mentioned when she spoke for the 23 minutes is to just take notes. All right, people? We're going to take a break. When we come back from the break, we will get back to the action. The extension of the SOE. And if that is, you know, justified, how do we measure the success or the failure of a SOE? Do we measure it by the numbers and the statistics? Do we measure it based on how we feel about crime at this current point in time? How do we measure it? Because if you're using statistics, I think Barakpur mentioned it there, if you're using statistics, you have to look at, okay, the last 3 years, let's say 2024, 23, and 22, we had 3 of the highest murder tolls ever at 599, 577, and 625, right? Those were the last 3 totals. Then you entered into a SOE, which brought you from 625 to 300 and something. And now, in this year of 2026, so you had to look at that decline from 24 to 26, to 24 to 25, and then now you had to measure up last year to this year, all right? Because you can't measure it in comparison to 2024. So you had to measure last year to this year, and I think this year the murder toll is about 3, maybe less than what we had last year. It's about the last figures, it was like 3 or 4 less, right? So you know, how do you measure it? But then you have the population who is saying, well, you know, I mean, we're under this state of emergency, and while it ain't bothering anybody freedom of movement or anything like that, we still seeing a lot of crime taking place in terms of murder and so on and so forth. So that's going to be very interesting in how they justify it. I would imagine they're going to use the numbers, the statistics, because that's what, you know, you usually use, is the numbers. And well, we say numbers don't lie. They do tell a story. But we will see where that goes and what your thoughts are on it when we come back in the second hour. We have Eden Nights in this second hour as well, so look out for that. We will be back after this. Breaking Dawn continues.
TT Bet Arena is your one-stop entertainment destination in Trinidad and Tobago. Bet on international.
Choose Jameson.
True growth shouldn't make you wait. This month, Real Talk Financing is changing the timeline. Get up to 7% interest on a fixed deposit paid to you upfront. Real Talk Financing and Investment. Real results sooner. Call our Central or South branches today.
Astrologer Mohit Ji is known for providing insightful astrology guidance for complex life situations, dealing with love confusion, delayed marriage, partner distancing, or serious relationship breakdowns. His approach focuses on understanding the root cause and guiding you toward the right path. If financial instability or business setbacks are affecting you, His spiritual remedies may support positive change. With psychic reading, horoscope analysis, and palm insights, he offers practical clarity. His services also include protection from negative energies and removal of bad luck. Call at +1 868 334 2796.
Welcome to Caribbean Tourist Villa, your home away from home in the heart of Port of Spain. With over 25 years of trusted hospitality, Caribbean Tourist Villa has been a reliable choice for both business professionals and vacationers. Our guest rooms are thoughtfully equipped with all the essentials for a relaxing and productive stay, and our tranquil pool area is perfect for relaxation after a busy day. We've created the ideal space for you to relax, recharge, and enjoy. Give us a call to book your stay today.
If you want to be a better chef at home or advance your professional career,
Chef Shiraz Culinary Academy is the best place to be.
Some of the courses that we offer here at the Academy: Creative National Cuisine 1 and 2, Baking and Pastry 1 and 2, Kids Summer Cooking Classes, one-day classes at the workshop. We have Asian cooking classes and certificate in culinary arts, food lovers and professionals.
Start your culinary journey today with us at the Chef Shiraz Culinary Academy.
Why just manage disease when you can reverse it? At Setwaya's Holistic Health Clinic, we don't just mask symptoms, we focus on reversing illness naturally. Imagine freedom from medications and the cycle of dependence. Our approach dives deep into uncovering root causes without herbs, tonics, or medications. From diabetes and heart disease to mental health, obesity, and more, our personalized care is transforming lives. Ready to begin? Book your consultation today, either in our San Fernando office or online. Call or WhatsApp 279-3935 or 761-1952. Your health journey starts now at Setwayo's Holistic Health Clinic, where transformation is within reach.
At Adams Optical, we care for your vision with everything from stylish frames, contact lenses, and sunglasses, starting at just $595, to advanced eye care services. We also diagnose and manage conditions like glaucoma and cataracts with our in-house ophthalmologist. Additional services include OCT, VFT, and cataract surgeries. Visit us at San Fernando, Chaguanas, or Rio Claro.
Concerned about the safety and security of your property? Then look no further. At Electromatic Gate Systems, they specialize in fabrication of gates, fencing, and much more. They also provide remote control access for sliding and swing gates and garage doors for residential, commercial, and industrial use. Have a design in mind? They can fabricate and motorize it into reality. Why choose them? They supply Italian-made motors backed by 10 years warranty, and you can ask about their lifetime warranty packages. Electromatic Gate Systems remains the sole authorized distributor for ProfoundNet throughout the Caribbean. Don't compromise your security. Contact them today at 333-GATE. That is 333-4283. Find them on Google, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, or visit their website at www.electromaticgates.com. Their team is standing by to assist.
Master Ganesh Bhargav offers powerful guidance for all kinds of life problems, doubts, confusion, protection needs, and clarity. His astrology practice comes from a powerful ancestral tribal lineage with over 500 years of astrological and spiritual practice. Bhargavji does not dominate or pressure clients. Instead, he focuses on fixing problems with care and balance. His reunion love spells and death reversal spells are designed to restore harmony and provide lifetime protection. This is not individual effort alone, but collective spiritual power working for you. Many clients notice strong positive changes within a few sessions. Call +1 868 347 2350.
All right, so we're back. And as we return on Breaking Dawn this morning, let me just give you a little information very quickly. I see Chef Shiraz. Chef Shiraz. Chef Miguel, boy. You gotta go and check out Chef Miguel down in Patches, boy. You gotta go and check Chef Miguel. All right, so I'll tell you what. Chef has a few courses still on the chopping blocks. Well, not on the chopping blocks. He ain't chopping them. No, that's the wrong thing, right? He has a few courses still to come, right, for the July-August agenda. So in June, starting this weekend, he'll have the International Creative Cuisine Cooking course. And then in July, on the 4th of July, America Independence Day, he'll have the Certificate in Culinary Arts. And then the 13th and the 13th of July and then the 10th of August, he has the kids' summer cooking classes. So those are things that you could sign up for if you're interested. You could give him a call or WhatsApp him on 372-4639 or 737-5097. So give Chef a buzz today. And Keolic, that's right. So Keolic range of products backed by science, over 900 scientific research and clinical trials. They're all made from that aged garlic extract. And of course, you have several products in the range, from the cleanse and digestion to the blood pressure health, to the cholesterol health, the total heart health, the circulation health, the Keo Green Powder drink mix, as well as the probiotics. And I tell you what, you could pick up any one of these products in the Keolic range by visiting a pharmacy or health store across the country. And for more information, you could WhatsApp 728-0338. That is 728-0338. All right. Before we go further, I got a message here. Remember, one of the callers mentioned the NIS thing, right? With the Venezuelans. And I am seeing here that NIB has put things in place that all foreign nationals who are employed must pay NIS. It's just that some employers don't pay for them, and the NIB has to investigate to make them pay. All right? So this talk of they hire Venezuelans because they don't pay the NIS, that is old talk. There is something in place where all foreign nationals, whether they be Venezuelan, Colombian, Nigerian, Jamaican, whomever, they do pay NIS. They make their NIS payments. All right? It is the employer that NIB will investigate when they don't pay. All right? But they have to pay. They're supposed to be paying. Okay. We have two little things that we want to touch on here. We're 10 minutes past the hour of 7 o'clock this morning. Could you give me the John Bates issue, please?
On the press conference on, I think it was Wednesday, yes, that I would be doing some rotations from time to time. So today I propose to make one replacement. I'm not going to say who that replacement is because Senate is at 1:30, so you will see. I have been a senator myself. As a matter of fact, I started my political career as an opposition senator in 1992. And I understand that, there has been a lot of issues surrounding Senator Bates. I am maintaining my position that both as a leader of the PNM and as a leader of the opposition, when you make a decision when there are issues in the public domain that have occurred in the parliament, your responsibility is not to have a knee-jerk reaction. You must have natural justice. You must allow due process. And you must be comfortable that when you make a decision, information that is in your personal knowledge that may not be in the public knowledge, that is what guides me.
So it's one replacement today?
It will be one replacement.
Are we saying this is based
yes,
going to be replaced?
Yes. I did.
I love it, Politics is a hell of a thing. And I put out a video on it this weekend, saying politics is really, really a hell of a thing. So John Bates is out, right? Now this here, what I go and say have absolutely nothing to do with John Bates. I'm not even going to talk about the time that she took, the opposition leader, to make a straightforward decision. I ain't even concerned with that. Throw that out the window so. Whoosh! Right? I am going to mention that somehow or the other, Al-Rawi escaped. He is a senior attorney and a man who holds the office of Attorney General, right? Who played a part in that matter. Somehow, John Bates alone gone down the river, and it had nothing to do with Al-Rawi. But I ain't even going to talk about that. I ain't even going to talk about that. We're throwing that in the dustbin too. Right? For all of you who listen there, you see how politicians just know the right thing and they don't apply it? Hey boy, the opposition leader just said that as opposition leader, somebody holding a leadership position, that when matters happen that are in the public space, meaning the public is talking about it, it's out there, right? Forget about it happening in parliament. We're talking about anywhere. In the public space, her responsibility, right, is due process and the natural course of justice. And that's why I tell all you, when I sit down here for weeks, I say, so nobody, right? When the authorities were saying, natural course of justice, due process, when I sit down saying, natural course of justice, due process, and I made that point first, right? And I keep saying, so you're telling me that nobody standing up on the pavement with cup of their hand around that girl, as young as she is, and as vocal as she is, and as passionate as she is, and say, darling, to have due process and a natural course of justice is how to take place. Ain't that a hell of a thing? But now, all of a sudden, you know about due process and natural course of justice. It's a hell of a thing, you know. A hell of a thing. Politics. Great. All right. I just wanted to make that point, you know. And I just wanted to exhale. Now, hopefully, everybody knows and everybody understands, right? Nice. Anyway, as we proceed, Lord have mercy. Tell you. Noise, boy. When you have to make noise, when people see a noise going on, and they're rooting for noise, right? Oh, boy. Eh. Now, we have another report, and we want to get your thoughts on this, including your thoughts on the state of emergency as well. We'll be taking your calls and your thoughts on that as we move along during the course of the week here. The Prime Minister was called into question by the media, right? And Guardian Media ran a report on it. And in that report, they made an issue that the Prime Minister has been absent from the post-cabinet meetings for a year, apparently. All right? I'm going to run you that report, and we're going to open the phone line, take some calls until we get to Eden Heights. So run me the report on the Prime Minister's absence at the post-cabinet press conferences.
It was hard-hitting.
I am not booking you. I am just saying you cannot expect us. I was too nice last time.
Forceful.
And today I give you this. I told you I'll put it in the dustbin. Today I give you this. You will scrap it.
Downright captivating.
You hear, Bram! And next thing you know, your doors kick in.
There's no doubt that the early days of this administration's post-cabinet news briefings commanded attention. And it may be no coincidence that these were the media conferences that were led by the Prime Minister herself. But today marks 1 year since the Prime Minister last faced journalists and the nation at this forum.
Akash, as the Minister said, the Prime Minister is chairing the cabinet right now.
Where is Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar to respond to these questions that are now in the public domain?
And aside from a brief question and answer session following the national budget presentation on October 13th, 2025, Prasad Bisasa has not held a media conference since her last post-cabinet appearance on June 5th, 2025. And during that gap, there have been several issues of national importance, ranging from geopolitical aggression in the region, the presence of U.S. military personnel and assets in the country, an alliance formed with the U.S. and other Latin American countries to combat narco-terrorism, the need for successive states of emergency, and energy-related matters. And while the Prime Minister does at times take questions outside the Parliament or via WhatsApp, those are quite brief sessions and do not facilitate meaningful follow-up questions. The Media Association of Trinidad and Tobago recognizes that as well, but in a statement to Guardian Media, it said that MAT firmly believes that this does not replace the forum of a formal press briefing, and having the Prime Minister respond to unscripted questions at a formal press conference is absolutely essential to the transparent functioning of democracy. The statement goes on to reveal that MAT has written to the Prime Minister requesting a meeting to discuss what it calls a lack of formal press availability and several instances where events are being hosted by government ministries and reporters are not being invited. Now, former Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley drew comparisons to his own tenure and reminded CNC3 News that he routinely held post-cabinet news briefings and often faced questions from journalists immediately upon returning from overseas trips. Dr. Rowley said what is happening now is a contemptuous action on the part of the Prime Minister, who does not want to work or to be held accountable. But political analyst Dr. Shade Mohammed posits that Dr. Rowley overwhelmed the population by speaking too much. He did, however, say that the Prime Minister has a certain charm and aura that the nation wants to see, and suggested that she considers coming once per month or quarter.
She has this warm, welcoming spirit that, regardless of, to sum it up, she has the ability to diffuse tensions by what she says, her presence, her approach.
We asked the Prime Minister for a comment regarding her year-long absence, but she'd only say that her ministers are fully competent to answer all questions, and questioned the importance of the story. Akash Samaru, CNC3 News.
All right. I think that Shane Mohammed is correct. I think that the Prime Minister of all persons has the ability to diffuse a situation. Case in point, when the protest action was taking place by the DPP's office and the arrest of Alyssa Phillips and so on and so forth. And I sat here and I said, there's a misunderstanding amongst the population of the DPP's decision to charge and the whole natural course of justice and due process that applies now. And people seem not to understand that, and they seem to think that the DPP saying to charge means that she's guilty. And I said that the Prime Minister couldn't come out and just state that, listen, to the population, we hear you, we understand, right? It's a highly sensitive matter, a very controversial one, and there is a place that this is sorted out, and it is the courts, and there is a natural course of, and just explain it to the population. I think she could have done that and diffused that situation before it ended up where it ended up. And so I think Shane Mohammed, and I know Shane, and I think Shane is correct in that. I think that she does have that ability to do so. I think any Prime Minister would have the ability to, because they're the Prime Minister, so they have the opportunity to either diffuse or ignite, right? One out of the two. Depending on how they approach a situation, right, in terms of responding. But the Prime Minister not being at the press conferences seems to be an issue. Let me hear your thoughts on it, people. Would you like to hear more from your Prime Minister at these post-cabinet press briefings? Hello, good morning.
Morning. I missed that one. All right. Yeah, morning. What time we have? 7:22. Yeah, morning. Go ahead.
Yeah, morning. Stefan, morning.
Yeah, man.
I think the Prime Minister, she right to say
Model volume.
that she right to say that she has competent ministers to do what they need to do. Yeah? And if for some reason or the other that she doesn't come out and speak in public to inform the public, she has ministers, and when she do come out, she could say, well, the reason why I didn't come or whatever the case may be, right? So I say let the Prime Minister function. She functioning, let the Prime Minister function. In the meanwhile, whether it's you, me, the Prime Minister, is not to say that Stefan not on the program and the program can run, right? When the Prime Minister fly away and she go on wherever, Johnny John take over, the country just run, right? So in the meantime, you and I, we have to use the rules of Trinidad and Tobago. Are we getting value for as citizens in terms of the rules of Trinidad and Tobago? Right? That's just one factor.
Okay.
Because the Prime Minister herself said, show me where it have good roads in Trinidad and Tobago. Right? So when I remember we used to be hurting, the public used to feel the hurt that when we now get a newly paved road, as soon as the road paved, the road might come and dig up the road and say, well, our line leaking. Why the two ministries couldn't come together, maintain the lines, and then pave the road?
Right.
I'm not seeing that taking place all now. I'm not seeing it taking place. 10 years, 20, 25 years ago, it didn't happen. And these are the things that we need to let it flow, let it happen. Let Trinidad and Tobago get value for being citizens. If we all rich, or we're all rich, but if we have that kind of energy, show the population what they're getting back for being a oil rich nation, right?
Okay. All right.
Actually, what we getting back for ourselves?
All right. No problem. All right, cool. I'm going to take a few more. All right, cool. All right. So he don't seem to have a problem with it. I don't know. Hello, good morning. It's up to you. It's the population. Yeah, morning.
Morning, Stefan.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
First of all,
what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are you just run a clip on PNM 3. CNC 3 is PNM 3. So when you are Akashami talking or Doris Polo or them talking, every news report they bring, they have to bring Penny and Marvin and Amy Brown and everybody. I said, but wait now, they can't talk to nobody from the CNC and from the UNC. Please switch to TTT to get the news. I'm so sorry that TTT have to show playway and thing for 10 minutes before the news. But listening to TV6 and CNC3, it makes no sense. Okay, Stefan?
All right, no problem. All right, no problem. Well, maybe they're trying to talk to them, but they're not answering. Morning.
Morning, Mr. Stefan.
Oh, God. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I didn't come to talk about that, but to piggyback on what the Mr. say, that same organization had a news story on the 8 countries that abstained from voting for Trinidad on the National Security Council.
Yeah,
but there are no news story. We have no news story on the 181 countries that vote yes, right? And all of that are secret ballots, so nobody don't know who vote for who. Anyway.
Yeah, it's secret ballot. Nobody don't know. So I don't understand why they ran the story based on the 8 abstentions rather than the 181 votes.
Yeah, and they come to a conclusion that nobody don't know because it's a secret ballot. But anyway, I agree with Shane Mohammed. Lady should visit the podium at least once a month maybe. And they show videos of the first set of postcards was very interactive when she was there and other ministers was there.
Yeah.
And I agree with once a month is okay. But she did field questions while she was either A, going in parliament, or B, at certain functions or whatsoever. So she didn't disappear off the face of the earth. Right?
Okay.
And then it has some people who said, oh, never listen to the Prime Minister speak for 27 minutes. Right? But some people will listen to, unfortunately, a racist rant on Facebook by a man that still exists. But I still trying to understand. You might run a news story and YouTube go pull it down because you play something that's so-called copyright. But people saying all kind of things about people. Some of it still circulating on Facebook, and it hasn't been no standards.
Yeah.
No standards. Facebook standard hasn't pulled on anything. Okay, have a good morning.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah. That's an interesting point you make, eh? Because look at TikTok. I think that video was on TikTok with the racial rant and the religious, but the fellow who insulted the Hindu religion and so on and so forth, right? And he went on this whole racist thing. And that they allow on TikTok, right? But if I tell, but gambling they don't allow.
You understand? But you could have a racist rant.
No problem, right? And you could threaten somebody and just use the word unalive instead of death, and TikTok allows it. It's a hell of a thing. I enable. Oh God, Lord, it has so much call coming in that we can't even. Oh, I see we're going. All right, let me go. I see what happened there. They were getting blocked out by a regular call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Stefan.
Yeah.
Yes, I will never disagree with whatever the Prime Minister statement that the Prime Minister makes or the plans the Prime Minister makes for to fix Trinidad and Tobago. My problem, Stefan, is that we had something in the palm of our hand to set an example for Trinidad and Tobago. Is Arali and the next Senator Wayne. Those people were supposed to set an example. This is those people not supposed to be trying in Parliament or trying on. They're supposed to be facing court and facing serious penalty. Because, Stefan, I think you might be able to tell me the name of the charge of that, what took place there. That's serious corruption. You know?
That's, well, it's tantamount to witness tampering and perverting the course of justice.
That is a serious offense?
Yeah.
This is not an offense to pay.
Amongst others, there are some other things inside here that you could probably apply to what they did. But those would be the main two. And those are very serious offenses under law.
Yes, Stefan, and this is what have me sick that I can't see this country surviving because we can't get it fixed by we not setting an example. Who you would set the example with? With those fellas who pants falling on the bucks?
Okay.
Those are the people we would set the example with? No, Stefan. I think we could fix Trinidad and Tobago, but we have to put our best foot in front. Have a nice day.
All right, no problem. Yeah. Morning.
Yo, morning.
Yes, hi, what's up?
We have a problem with the audio, eh? The audio running like if we speeding.
The audio like
everybody's
we
sounding like everybody's sounding like
chipmunks.
We're in a cartoon movie.
Fellas, what's going on with our audio,
Yeah.
boy? What's going on?
Why Stefan, why
So we
what to
sounding
say,
like
right?
Alvin and the Chipmunks. Or the internet was lagging. All right, yes, go ahead.
Why I say that? When they interview the opposition leader
Yeah.
about Senator Biggs, why did the media ask what happened to Faris Arwari in this?
Well, in that clip that I got from their page, no.
So
that's the full clip
comfortable.
as posted.
Everybody is comfortable. So if it is that two people going to commit a murder, one could commit the murder and charge a murder, and the other one could get away free.
Well,
that's what it's saying here.
Last I checked, aiding and abetting is a crime.
It's a crime?
Yeah, aiding and abetting, yeah.
All right, man. Thanks.
That's, yeah, I mean, yeah. So, I mean, look, you don't understand, eh? One man begin the dance and one person new to the dance. Morning.
Morning. The opposition leader has said it right, that there are information out in the public domain and you need to find out other things before you come to a final conclusion. in addressing the nation, it must be of national importance. This press conference we have to get accustomed to is about nonsensical thing where the media trying to get in a gotcha moment and ask the same question over and over. The Prime Minister answers everything in Parliament as it is. So we need to broadcast the Parliament chamber more often, and journalists need to do investigative work. I'll give you another thing that Arnold Roberts always says, the PNM media. When an incident happens, they will call the PNM and they will say and get all the information and give them a chance now to make a statement. And then last minute before the news, they would say calls went to the Prime Minister and there was no answer yet. And this is how they operate. So they function in a biased way to embarrass certain people. So the Prime Minister is right. There are competent ministers who will answer things and do investigative journalism and the freedom of information. I can find all the information and present it. This is what journalists are supposed to do. And if and when it becomes necessary, when it's a national issue of real national concern, then we seek the audience of the Prime Minister. You have a good day, man.
All right, no problem. I'll see if I can squeeze two more maybe. Morning. And then we get to Ignites.
Yeah.
Morning, yeah.
Yeah, hello, Mona Stefan. I want to find out this thing with Al-Wali and the tampering, right? You find out for certain it kind of quiet that the law association, real quiet, and you hear no noise from them.
The law,
real weird.
The law association has, I do not even think they've issued a statement on this. That is,
No, they're
that is
quiet.
insane.
Yeah.
That's a great point that you make. I cannot remember, maybe I stand to be corrected, but I cannot remember the law association making a statement on this. You talking about a junior lawyer, right? And a senior lawyer, a man who holds the office of Attorney General for a period of time, involved in what is tantamount to witness tampering and perverting the course of justice. And you telling me, and they did this as lawyers here, and one under the advice of the other, and you're telling me that the law association is silent? Final caller. Hello, good morning. The silence is deafening, to say the least. Morning.
Morning to you, Mr. Stefan.
Yes.
Mr. Stefan, I had time for that first caller this morning. Right? That your boy. Your boy, Stefan. Yeah.
No, I like
Let
to
me tell you
hear.
something.
No, listen. It is good to
I
hear.
like to hear the written. Yeah, against them.
I'm just saying. No, wait. I'm just saying. It is good to hear other views, right?
Correct.
I've always
Yes.
welcomed other views. That is why I engage him and I try to ask him questions. Because when somebody is offering a different opinion, or you have a difference in opinion, then a conversation opens. Because now I want to know, well, why are you thinking so? Or how did you draw that conclusion? Or are you 100% informed? Or are you working with a piece of information? Did you hear this person say this? You understand what I'm saying? There are many questions that arise, so we go back and forth. But it's, but I welcome the call. It's a difference of opinion, nothing wrong with that. Morning. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but when you ask the question, what you tell you, listen to the Prime Minister, you just only listen to the end. So how you could give a assessment of what the Prime Minister say?
Well, people have a tendency to make, in this recent time here, we have seen people make decisions based on seeing the end, haven't we?
Right.
Okay.
Right. So
the
what
end
I
is
wanna
all you
say,
need to
Stefan,
see, I guess. I don't know, in some instances.
Yeah.
Or
Just
here.
as the man say,
You know.
just as the man tell you, how Al-Rari could walk free. And in my view, the police supposed to charge Al-Rari and Senator Bate for that. How you could have the opposition leader having a statement telling you about due process and all kind of thing. That shouldn't be. All things that happen wrong, so when a law is broken, the police supposed to be involved in Trinidad and Tobago. Not no opposition leader or prime minister.
No, hold on.
They had the law
Yeah, but
wrong.
hold on. Her role as opposition leader is based on the actions of her senators, right?
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
If those actions that they have committed are wrong and, are serious offenses, she has the responsibility to remove them from the Senate. So she could only remove from the Senate Now that Bates has been removed from the Senate, I do not know if now that opens the door for any investigation, if it's to go that far. I don't know.
Mr. Stefan,
You gotta wait and see as that relates to that.
let me just take it more far. Let me say a senator kill somebody, shoot somebody and kill them. What happened there? Do we wait on the opposition and do that to move them out of the Senate?
Oh, no. No, I mean, that's a serious, you're talking a serious offense. The police will investigate.
Naturally, so all offenses have to be offenses. In God, it's I know I'm wrong and halfway wrong, Stefan. Everything when it's wrong, it's wrong.
I understand that, and I agree with you.
Yes.
Right.
And let me tell you something before I go quickly. I'm not a blind man. I just always see the Prime Minister. So who doesn't see her? That's the problem, Stefan. That's the problem here. So much of blind people in Trinidad and Tobago. I go on, brother. Thank you.
All right, no problem. Well, I beg to differ slightly. I think that the Prime Minister should be a little more visible. Maybe once or twice a month at least. Well, maybe once or twice a month at the postcard. I think in her absence, it leaves the door open for a lot of whispering and people to have perceptions. I mean, you just hear the talk. Is the Prime Minister well? I hear she ain't going too good, I hear she's sick. I hear she can't walk, and she can't this and she can't that. And that is the conversations that you hear. I had the opportunity to judge the corridor last weekend, not this weekend, going on the weekend before for Indian Arrival Day, in Siparia. I had the opportunity to take a picture with the Prime Minister. She held my hand when she came out of the booth, and she held my hand. Basically, she leaned over and she whispered something to me. And what she whispered is she said, I hope you're showing the sun breaking down in the morning. Basically, that's what she said. I said, well, yeah, we must see a little party, we must do a little feature for you. You know what I mean? On the event. But she went through, I saw her, she came out of the SWAT vehicle, right? Because after the procession, she participated in the procession. Then she went into the SWAT to more or less, for refreshment and to relax herself before taking to the stage. And then she went to the stage and she gave a speech, and then she came down from the stage, and then she walked to every tent. And I telling you, that was no easy walk. It was 41 tents. And I had to go by all of them. And I won. You understand? And she walked, she made the same walk that I walked. So in terms of her health and that kind of thing, I cannot, based on my experience meeting her for the first time at this event, I can't buy into the she not well talk, because I'm telling you, I won. It was 41 tents we walk wrong. The judge, every tent was 41 constituencies, so 41 corridor constituencies, and we had to taste all. So we had to go to every tent. And she made the same wrongs. So, she was capable of doing that. But I do think that her presence is needed at times, especially when you have situations that are highly sensitive. And I thought that the Kaya Sealy issue was a very sensitive one. I thought that the protest action with Alyssa Phillip and everybody that, well, all the others are trying to hijack the guilt thing, you know what I mean, and anyway, that's story for next day. But I just thought that was a situation where she should have come out and say something, not on the matter, not on the Sealy matter specifically, but just from an education standpoint, so even those who were on the fence or just looking on could say, well, the Prime Minister explained that there is a natural course of justice, and the Court of Appeal, and the Privy Council, and this, that, and the other, and there is a process, okay? And we have to let the process take its course. And that's all that needed to be said. And in saying that, I think that whole situation could have been diffused. But it happened how it happened. All right? We're going to take the break, and Eden Nights is up next, so look out for that. We will talk to Dr. Navarro and Dr. Thompson before we wrap up this morning. But we have your birthdays to get to as well. But parts of what the PM said on Friday, we have 2 other parts to run. Those are the 2 longer clips. I'll try to spread them out so that you get the information. For those of you who didn't see it or hear it in Parliament and you didn't go to social media, well, I got it from social media. But anyway, and I thought it was quite informative. We will be back after this with Eid Night. Stay tuned.
Welcome to Antigua Mass. Them people have no behavior, they have no behavior. Welcome to Antigua Mass. Clear out how you know it's danger, how you know it's danger. When it comes to mass, it was deadly.
Every day at the castle, long before we open our doors, our work begins. Our famous seasonings are mixed in advance. We select our fresh chicken parts and prep our delicious sides. Then we fire up the fryers and rotisserie oven. Everything is made with tasty local herbs, spices, and the same long-loved recipe since 1968. So, when you come in, remember that we uphold our culture and our taste just for you. We are your Royal Castle.
International horse racing.
At Adams Optical, we care for your vision with everything from stylish frames, contact lenses, and sunglasses, starting at just $595, to advanced eye care services. We also diagnose and manage conditions like glaucoma and cataracts with our in-house ophthalmologist. Additional services include OCT, VFT, and cataract surgeries. Visit us at San Fernando, Chaguanas, or Rio Claro.
Concerned about the safety and security of your property? Then look no further. At Electromatic Gate Systems, they specialize in fabrication of gates, fencing, and much more. They also provide remote control access for sliding and swing gates and garage doors for residential, commercial, and industrial use. Have a design in mind? They can fabricate and motorize it into reality. Why choose them? They supply Italian-made motors backed by 10 years warranty, and you can ask about their lifetime warranty packages. Electromatic Gate Systems remains the sole authorized distributor for ProfoundNet throughout the Caribbean. Don't compromise your security. Contact them today at 333-GATE. That is 333-4283. Find them on Google, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, or visit their website at www.electromaticgates.com. Their team is standing by to assist.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors, roti makers. Try Chic Lisha high quality, unbleached, bromate free, all purpose and whole wheat flour. Bleached flour and bromate flour is treated with chemicals that can cause cancer, and this is banned in Europe and many other countries. Chic Lisha flour offers a healthier option, being that it's unbleached and bromate free. It also has a finer grain and a softer texture, lower priced and conveniently packaged in 2 pound, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. Available at groceries and supermarkets. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Chic Lisha Limited at 665-3336 or 480-8715, or visit them at Warrenville, Canoopia. Chic Lisha Limited, quality you can trust.
Feeling distance in your relationship or sensing someone interfering between you and your partner? Connect with Pandit Anirudh, known for powerful and result-oriented love solutions. His effective love spells have helped many reunite with lost partners. If you face family conflict, marriage issues, negativity, or financial stress, his strong mantras bring quick relief. Know what lies ahead in your love life and future through powerful astrology readings. Many lives have changed. Now it's your turn. Contact +1 868 278 0399.
Greetings to you all in the wonderful name of our Lord and Savior, the sweet Rose of Sharon and the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus. I am Ezekiel Johnson Fort, and I am pleasured to inform you of the newest branch of the Christian Union Church, Trinidad and Grenada District, San Juan Revival Ministries. If you are desiring prayer, healing, or that closer connection to the Heavenly Father, then the place to be is at San Juan Revival Ministries. And allow me to ask you one question. Are you living a life without Jesus Christ? Do you desire freedom from spiritual bondage? Then the only solution to your problem is Him. In the book of Matthew chapter 11 and verses 28, it says, "Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." And this is mostly speaking to those of you who are Christians and you might not have a place to fellowship. Come, fellowship with us at the Christian Union Church, San Juan Revival Ministries. Come, be edified and equipped by the Word of God, preached by the man of God, Senior Reverend Bishop Dave Donation. You will be empowered by the move of the Holy Spirit of the living God. Come and be comforted. If you desire to be an environment that shows compassion and care for your spiritual needs, growth, and development, then fellowship with us at number 1 Bagatelle Corner, Saddle Road, every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. to 12 noon. I look forward to seeing you there, and God bless you all, and may the peace of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, be with you now and always. God bless you all.
If you're planning an event, make us your first option. At Reality of a Dream, we can make your event memorable. We can assist in planning your corporate functions, moderate gatherings, family occasions, christenings, and more. We also cater for weddings and other special occasions. Our newly renovated venue includes a majestic entryway, which takes you along a path to a fantastic indoor facility which can accommodate up to 80 dining guests. A recently completed, fully air-conditioned, beautifully designed wing, which maintains the theme and flow of Reality of a Dream, adds 30 extra seats for dining guests. In total, we can now seat a total of 110 dining guests. Come see for yourself the splendor that awaits you. Walk along the path and make your way to the breathtaking, well-maintained swimming pool and gazebo, and also the entire grounds of Reality of a Dream. We've also updated the Dream Suite, which comes with all modern conveniences, where guests can enjoy the feeling of an exquisite retreat overlooking the entire area. Reality of a Dream caters to professional events. We provide secured parking for guests, so call us at 332-6880 and ask for Harriet. Located at number 15 Moses Avenue, San Juan. Reality of a Dream, making dreams come true every day.
Eden Heights Clinic is one of the most advanced state-of-the-art alternative clinics in the Caribbean. They offer a dynamic combination of life-changing treatments, including prolozone therapy, live blood analysis, halotherapy, limb backing, nutritional programs, colon hydrotherapy, weight loss programs, oxygen baths, and more. Their professional doctors, Drs. Carlos Navarro, Bronwyn Navarro, and Brian Thompson, provide consultation services in areas of diabetes detox programs, arthritis, sports injuries, heart disease, high blood pressure, persons suffering with knee, shoulder, and back pain. At Eden Heights Clinic, they understand that your health is your wealth. Get in touch with them to determine which service is the right choice for you. Visit them at any one of their 3 locations at 13 Montague Avenue, Twin City, at 41 Ramsaran Street, Shoguanas, or give them a call at 640-8985 or 613-7571, or send them a WhatsApp to 493-9196. Eden Heights Clinic is your right choice.
All right, so we're back on Breaking Dawn this morning, and we are 7:52. So for the next 15 minutes, we'll be joined by Eden Heights, and we have Dr. Thompson and Dr. Navarro with us. But I guess we start with Dr. Navarro. Dr. Navarro, good morning to you. Hope your weekend was terrific. And what we're talking about this morning?
Actually, we're talking about lifestyle diseases. Dr. Thompson will start. I'll give him his 7 minutes because you're always rubbing him. And then I will come in after.
Okay, no problem. So Dr. Thompson will start.
Yeah,
Dr.
let him
Thompson.
start.
Okay, morning everyone.
All right.
Be careful, the police locked you up for Robert Main. They're listening right now.
That's all
Right.
right.
Well, basically, what we're gonna talk about is what we call ascertain the cause, meaning find out the cause. Right? In other words, find out the cause before doing anything related to actually fixing the problem in the first place. Right? So normally, most persons when they hear, let's say, about lifestyle diseases itself, right? They'll talk about things like diabetes, hypertension. Let's say they put obesity within that, show things like heart disease, fatty liver. You can even talk about like high cholesterol, chronic constipation. All of those are lifestyle diseases, or let's say lifestyle complications. So most persons will just look at the issue, but won't really look at the cause of the issue. All right, and there are actually many causes to why these things actually come along. All right, instead of actually, let's say, just starting to just take something, or let's say just take medication, just like that. You know, you look at the person, you ask them questions, you see what's going on with that person, how their mental health is, how their social life is, you know, how they actually taking care of themselves overall. And there are certain laws that I always tell persons that they need to actually follow. For example, now we look at it as laws, and people hear laws, they get frightened, or they like, okay, I'm in a box, in a cage now, and it's something that you know, I cannot get away from. But why I actually look at it as laws? Because it's laws govern the human on the whole, right? The laws govern the government, governs us as citizens. So if we can actually follow laws carefully, then we'll actually be safe in any case, all right? Of course, you're looking at those type of things. For example, diabetes. You know that if you eat too much of sugar, your blood sugar will go up. That's just automatic, right? That's how the body actually functions. You know, if you do certain things, let's say, for example, that actually damages the blood vessels, eventually you'll lead on to a stroke, you'll lead on to heart disease or heart attacks. If you use too much of sugar again, let's say things like fatty liver will also develop. So there are many causes to the problem. Most of the time we just look at nutrition, but there are other causes to issues. I remember actually talking to a lady, this is just a little example, and she had major issues with like heavy bleeding. And one of the causes of that is lack of vitamin D. She stayed inside all the time. She never went outside. All right. She never actually appreciated, in other words, the sunlight that God would have actually given. And from the time she started doing that, the bleeding actually considerably actually start cutting down. So when they looked at it in research, they came back and they saw that the importance of exposing oneself to sunlight, it does so much to the human body. Right? Apart from building the immune system, with the conversion of hitting the skin, let's say the skin has basically cholesterol, or let's say the cells have the cholesterol, the cell membranes, the outer part of the cell. Once the sunlight hits that, it then through the liver it converts to vitamin D. So it's a long process. But what I'm trying to say is that, you know, persons have to look at those simple laws of health. For example, one of them is what we call temperance. Most persons don't practice this. There are certain things that is very harmful to the human body, but we tell ourselves that we can actually do it in moderation and think that disease wouldn't come. For example, alcohol. Alcohol is a poison to the human body. If you do it in moderation, eventually you'll develop certain diseases that are not supposed to be there. For example, come back to the fatty liver, is a major cause for alcoholic fatty liver. So, and of course, there's non-alcoholic fatty liver as well, too, which you look at heavy amount of sugars. But both of them are related when you think about it carefully. So some forms of, let's say, like kidney disease or digestive disorder, staying up too late, all of those, say, not sleeping properly, all of those are actually what we call health laws that persons actually need to follow on a day-to-day basis. And if as humans, if we follow these things actually carefully and keep checking, right? You know, there's an engine light that actually comes on. When you see the engine light, if you don't check it, after a while, the engine shuts down. This is what happens to the human body. There are certain engines, the engine lights that comes up. You know, you're feeling very tired. You have no energy to do anything. You walk from here to there. You can't breathe properly. All of those are engine lights coming on to let you know that there's something wrong with you. And if you actually deal with it as ascertaining what caused the problem in the first place, you'll be able to see. All right. So we're talking about nutrition, things like water. If you don't rest properly, if it is that you know, avoid certain things that could actually cause problems to you, diseases come. That's how simple lifestyle diseases is. You look at what could be causing the issue, and then you take it from there. Now, I don't want to take up too much time. Just want to share the number that, you know, persons can actually call us on. That's the 640-8985. That's for Trinity. You could also call us on 613-7571 for Sugar Bonus, and WhatsApp 493-9196. Right? So we're talking about ascertaining the cause, or finding out what is the cause of the problem in the first place. And then, after correcting those wrong habits, then you'll actually see things like herbs or anything else that you can actually use to help to remedy the issue. Those things actually will come afterwards. So you have to make the changes and then add in those remedies, which I believe by God's grace, they were given for the service of man. I would say that, all right? So,
all right.
I'll take a
Nice
rest.
one. All right, so that's Dr. Thompson. We're going to continue.
say
with
we take
Dr.
a rest?
Barrow.
Yes.
Right.
All right. So now that we have established what are the issues that people have when they get sick, what is the, how do you respond? What do you do for them? In other words, how can we help them at Eden Heights Clinic? That's the next question. First of all, when they come in, the first thing we have to do is we do the blood analysis to do the evaluation, complete evaluation in there. You know, some people say, well, but I already did a blood work, they walk with their blood work, no problem. But live blood analysis picks up a lot more things, issues in the body than on a general blood test or CBC. It picks up a lot of issues that we don't normally see in normal blood tests, like parasites and all these things. It also shows the circulation. So we can tell, say like for instance, somebody with high blood pressure, you're gonna see that they have, a lot of them come in with what you call erythrocyte aggregation. The cells are clumped together, stuck. A lot of liver stress in the blood work, circulation issues, digestive issues, because of course once you interfere with the liver, you're going to interfere with the digestive system, because the liver plays a major part in the digestion of the food. And of course it then leads to neuropathy, nerve damage, circulation problems, blocked arteries. All these things are a result of it. And then again, we do for things like that, when we assess them with the live blood analysis, we then go on to the treatments. The treatments are necessary in order to improve blood flow to the extremities. That's the important part. Getting the blood, changing also, major part, changing blood chemistry. Because if you're not changing the chemistry of the blood, or changing the how shall I say, the cells at a cellular level, then you're not doing anything. You're not doing nothing. If you're not changing the at a cellular level, means that the blood will continue to be the same. So changes have to be made. Our diet is a vegan diet. Now let me explain why we go on a vegan diet. Animals, as you know, are very sick. The animals that we eat today are sick. They're grown in, chickens are grown in 4 weeks. I've been to chicken farms. I've seen the autopsies on chicken. I've asked the owners when they pick up the dead chickens every morning, and they cut the chicken, the blood is clotted
it's a lot of fat. The organs are enlarged as a result of the feed that they give them to grow them very fast. You know, we're not really designed. If you look at a lion's teeth, lions are designed to eat meat. They have very short colons, so they eat the meat and they process it very fast. If meat was to stay in a lion the same amount of time as a human being, it will literally poison the animal. Okay, and you could research it and see all these are facts. So plant-based foods break down easy. I mean, God gave us in the beginning. When you look at Genesis, you see that what He gave to man in the beginning was a plant-based diet. It's clear. He is a man. God is the person who made us, so He knows best. So we have stuck to what God says is the best foods to put: nuts, grains, seeds. It works best. It's worked for us for the last 20 years in terms of cleansing. Now, I don't tell people that, I don't tell them they have to choose. They can choose what they want to eat or what they want to drink, you know. But when you come to cleansing, the best diet that works is a vegan diet. There's no doubt about it. We've been doing this for 20 years. And we remove all animal protein and cheese and butter and all these things because they don't help the body in healing. The animals today are very sick. They give them antibiotics. Yet people say, oh, but the plant food is filled with pesticides. But remember something. Plants don't have a bloodstream. They don't. Okay?
Okay.
So the animals contain 25 times more toxins than plant food. And there are ways that you can soak your vegetables in food grade peroxide and pull out the chemicals from your vegetables. So there are many things you can do to clean up the vegetables. I mean, right? But nevertheless, there's still toxins and stuff that people eat on a daily basis and are exposed to, which contributes to lifestyle disease. All the processed refined foods, as Dr. Thompson was talking about. And therefore, with the plant-based diet, we give them supplementation. Not any and every supplement. You could come in our clinic and you're not going to see any supplement off the road. We don't just pick supplements. We have been testing the blood, looking at the blood under a microscope to see what works and what doesn't work. So we know over the years the products that we have been using, all right, how it affects the blood chemistry, because if it's not changing the blood chemistry, as I said before, it's doing nothing. So that's another part of treating lifestyle diseases. Then comes the treatments, the IV ozones, the hydrogen peroxide intravenous, the oxygen baths, the IVs like PC to clean the arterial vessels with a proper diet. And the combination of both diet,
supplementation, and treatments completes the whole thing. And we see it every day when people have to do review, because people do review. You will start with one blood test when you come in, and then there's another one right next to it, so you can compare. When you came in, the blood test will show all the issues on one side, and then of course, as you continue on your treatment, you will see the changes as they take place on the other side, so you can compare to see. And of course, the patient will generally tell you, boy, Doc, I'm feeling great. I'm sleeping real good. I have energy to burn. And that's because of the complementary of all three programs together, you know? So this is something that we have been using for the last 20 years that works for us. I mean, I don't have to sell it, because I already know that once they stay on the program, it's going to work, you know? The cleansing and all these things, the nutrition is important, absolutely important, all right? They change your eating habits, because lifestyle diseases are not going. They can be cured. People say, "Oh, you have to be on a medication for the rest of your life." That's foolishness. You could come off your insulin. We've seen many people come off the insulin. Many people come off their medication. Many people come off their hypertension medication just by making adjustments, exercise,
exercising is important. Even if you're not an athlete, you could walk, but not just walking around a circle and you're not even sweat. You're talking to your partner, and when you're done walk 5 laps, you're not out of breath or anything. That don't make sense. I would say challenge your cardiovascular system. Look for stairs. Look for a little incline, a little mountain to walk up fast.
Right.
To get the blood circulation going, you know. That's what you want. This walking on a circle wrong and a flat wrong doesn't do it, you know. So I tell them, look for a little stadium, look for little stairs, up and down, up and down. That is going to make a difference. That's going to pump blood. For those who have neuropathy, that's going to pump blood down to the extremities of your toes. Or you're going to the gym and you work out the legs properly. And then of course you have the treadmills and you have the stair walkers, all these things you have. They have bicycles, people have bicycles at home, they can ride. Put it on the stiff part, don't put easy. Put it on the stiff part and ride, pump, let the legs pump hard. Till it's burning, you know. And they'll see the difference. And of course, in combination with the diet and of course the treatments, you know. So
all right.
This is what we offer. And then again, in 3 months, you learn how to eat properly. So, I don't know what time we have.
Yeah, no, but we're out of time. We've been out of time about a minute, so I just left you, wind things down and finish up. But that's about it. Interesting, you mentioned the bike. I have a bike in my bedroom, so put it on the stiff one.
Yes, it don't make sense riding it's easy. You're not working the muscles, you ain't doing nothing. Put it on, turn it up, and we had to force the legs to pump like if you're going up a hill. You understand?
Right.
And you will see the difference.
All right. The difference where?
In the blood flow to your legs.
The blood flow?
Yeah, of course, because the more you have to put more blood to the muscles to push. You know?
Okay.
You ain't going just cycling, you're just going easy and you're riding and you ain't breaking a sweat. Don't make sense? You get off the saddle and pump. Boop, 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 when you're going up a hill.
All right.
I can tell you, use a challenge. You have
I will be off the saddle and pumping later, fellas. All right, no problem. All right. Well, fellas, thanks a lot. I'll be pumping.
You're welcome.
Thanks a lot, and well, next week again, man.
All right, God bless.
That's people. That's Nights. All right, and of course, Nights, you can always check them out in Trinity or Chaguanas. All right, check out Dr. Thompson or Dr. Navarro at their respective offices. We take the final break. When we come back, we got a couple of birthdays and we're out of here. Don't go anywhere. Breaking Dawn continues after this.
Eden Heights Clinic is one of the most advanced state-of-the-art alternative clinics in the Caribbean. They offer a dynamic combination of life-changing treatments, including prednisone therapy, live blood analysis, halotherapy, limb bagging, nutritional programs, colon hydrotherapy, weight loss programs, oxygen baths, and more. Their professional doctors, Drs. Carlos Navarro, Bronwyn Navarro, and Brian Thompson provide consultation services in areas of diabetes detox programs, arthritis, sports injuries, heart disease, high blood pressure, persons suffering with knee, shoulder, and back pain. At Eden Heights Clinic, they understand that your health is your wealth. Get in touch with them to determine which service is the right choice for you. Visit them at any one of their 3 locations at 13 Montague Avenue, Trinity, at 41 Ramsaran Street, Chaguanas, or give them a call at 640-8985 or 613-7571, or send them a WhatsApp to 493-9196. Eden Heights Clinic is your right choice.
Welcome to Caribbean Tourist Villa, your home away from home in the heart of Port of Spain. With over 25 years of trusted hospitality, Caribbean Tourist Villa has been a reliable choice for both business professionals and vacationers. Our guest rooms are thoughtfully equipped with all the essentials for a relaxing and productive stay, and our tranquil pool area is perfect for relaxation after a busy day. We've created the ideal space for you to relax, recharge, and enjoy. Give us a call to book your stay today. Dr. Ganesh Bhargav offers powerful guidance for all kinds of life problems, doubts, confusion, protection needs, and clarity. His astrology practice comes from a powerful ancestral tribal lineage with over 500 years of astrological and spiritual practice. Bhargavji does not dominate or pressure clients. Instead, he focuses on fixing problems with care and balance. His reunion love spells and death reversal spells are designed to restore harmony and provide lifetime protection. This is not individual effort alone, but collective spiritual power working for you. Many clients notice strong positive changes within a few sessions. Call +1 868 347 2350.
Welcome to Car City Trading, your #1 supply of brand new Korean auto parts. Come on down to lot number 78, Bamboo Settlement number 2, Valsain, between the hours of 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. Monday to Friday, and 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturday to get your Hyundai and Kia vehicular needs. Car City Trading has everything your vehicle needs, from a brand new head and blocks to engine parts, transmissions, suspension parts, body parts, electrical parts, braking system, AC system, even the smallest sensor, and much more. WhatsApp us today at 704-2246 or call us at 645-2603 and let us be your car parts solution. Be sure to find us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and look out for our monthly deals and promotions. Car City Trading, quality products at unbeatable prices.
All right, people, so we're back. We got 2 birthdays and we are out of here. So we got to say good morning and say happy birthday going out to Derek Mahadio. All right, a happy birthday to Derek Mahadio. He lives in New Jersey.
And we want to make him know, we want him to know that we love and miss him and his family. Have a great day, Derek, and enjoy every moment. We hope to see you soon. From your stepmom, Rajdei, your sisters Delia, Annalise, Camille, and brother Anil, your nieces and nephews, and all the rest of the family in Trinidad, your wife Pearl, children Dane and Dylan Mahadio, and your grandkids Maya and Austin. Enjoy your day, big brother. And of course, they love you. Nice, man. Big up yourself, man, Derek. And finally, we got to say happy birthday in heaven to Papa. All right? So Papa has passed, he's on to his next journey, his next life. And your family continues to miss and love you unconditionally. And this is from your children, Giselle, Gail, Marlon, and Lorraine. Love always. All right? So, yeah, man. That's the 2 for today. And that's how we put it away. So that's it for Breaking Dawn. And yeah, enjoy your Monday, people. The weekend is over. And I am just 1 week away from my birthday. Next week, Thursday, I'll be celebrating my birthday. The big 4-9, boy, the big 4-9. Once it in 5-0 yet, right? Well, I'll celebrate my birthday next week, man. But, you know, all in all, inform yourself, people. Information and knowledge is always key. And we will be back tomorrow to do it all over again. Seth will be on with us. And, yeah, we're going to look at whatever issues face us. Thanks a lot for your calls and your comments. We are out.